Welcome back to Bull to Bear Investing. Today, we're diving deep into how carbon dioxide emissions shape the global economy, what recent data through mid-2025 shows, and what the future holds. As of 2024, atmospheric CO levels reached approximately 422.7 ppm, up by 3.75 ppm over the previous year, marking unprecedented levels in human history. Global fossil CO emissions hit a record 37.4 billion tons in 2024, with total emissions, including land use change, at 41.6 GtCO, up 2% from 2023. These rising emissions intensify climate change, leading to extreme weather events, infrastructure damage, lost productivity, and increased fiscal costs for adaptation. Economic losses from climate impacts are already staggering. The social cost of carbon, the estimated economic damage per ton of CO, stands at $30.50 in 2025, rising to $250/400 by 2100 if mitigation lags behind. A leaked UK document warns that a poorly managed transition to net zero by 2050 could trim GDP by 10% and slash household consumption by 1% annually until 2030. In the US, emissions dropped just 0.2% in 2024 while GDP grew 2.7%, showing modest decoupling of emissions and economic growth. Countries and corporations are increasingly using carbon pricing mechanisms, like taxes and emissions trading schemes, to internalize CO's negative externality. As of 2021, about 22% of global emissions fall under carbon pricing schemes, up from previous years. Evidence shows that a $10 per ton carbon tax can reduce per capita CO emissions by 1.3% short-term and up to 4.6% long-term. In the U.S., the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 allocated $369 billion toward clean energy and emissions reduction, targeting a 42% drop in GHGs by 2030 below 2005 levels. In 2024, advanced economies saw a 1.1% drop in energy-related CO, while emerging economies increased by 1.5%. India's emissions jumped 5.3%, driven by economic growth. China, the world's largest emitter, may have already peaked or will peak CO emissions by 2025, according to nearly 44% of experts surveyed. Meanwhile, the EU cut emissions 8.3% in 2023, back down to 37% below 1990 levels, while GDP grew by 68%, hallmarks of decoupling. A 2025 modeling study using the DICE framework suggests that even if net zero emissions are achieved by 2050, global temperatures may still rise, 2.5 to 0.7 C by 2100. Under a delayed net zero, by 2100, warming could hit 3.0–3.7 C. By 2100, the social cost of carbon may swell to $250–400 tonne, heavily affecting economies through climate damages. Meanwhile, revenue and subsidy requirements for deep decarbonization could reach 5–7% of GDP globally, especially for poorer countries. The INEP Emissions Gap Report 2024 warns that to keep 1.5 C alive, emissions must fall 42% by 2030 and 57% by 2035. If you found this video insightful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more on climate economics and policy. What climate policy solution do you think offers the best economic value?